Hi, my name's Gemma, and today we're going to learn how to create a flow. Flows are sequences of automated actions, which can include email and SMS messages, that are triggered when a person performs a specific action, like being added to a list, making a purchase, or abandoning their cart. You may also have heard them referred to as automations or drip campaigns. The flow we're going to build today is called a welcome series. This flow welcomes new subscribers and introduces them to your business and product offering. More specifically, today you will learn to discover flow templates in the Flows library, navigate the flow builder, add a time delay to an existing flow, add a new email to a flow using a conditional split, and view the analytics of a flow email. We're going to start by clicking on the Flows tab in the main menu. Let's click on the Create Flow button in the top right. This will take you to the Flows library, where you can find pre-built templates for each kind of flow that Klaviyo offers. You can filter your search by channel, email, SMS, or both, and also browse flows by goal, like preventing lost sales or encouraging repeat purchases. Let's click on Nurture Subscribers and select the standard welcome series. This is the flow we're going to use to navigate the flow builder. Here I'll see a preview of the flow I've selected, and I can also name my flow. I'm going to name my flow Gemma's Welcome Series. Let's start by taking a look at the trigger. Every flow has a trigger, and once the trigger has been set, it cannot be changed. A welcome series is what we call a list-triggered flow, as the trigger for the welcome series is when someone subscribes to your newsletter. You can also apply trigger or flow filters to this flow to further restrict who will receive the flow. For example, a pretty common use case is excluding people who have made a purchase at any point during the flow. Now, let's take a look at the content of the flow by clicking on email number 1. If I click Edit, I'll be taken to edit the content of this email, starting with the subject line, preview text, and other details for sending. You can click Edit Email to be taken to the full body of the email. Here you'll see that Klaviyo provides you with a pre-built template for this flow email, which you can edit directly from the editor here, or you can click Change Template in the top right-hand corner to use one of your own pre-built templates. Let's return to the flow builder. The other key component of all flows is timing. The time delays between emails ensure that the recipient receives a gradual introduction to your brand and doesn't get overwhelmed by emails. Smart Sending, which you can see here is enabled, also helps with that. Smart Sending ensures that a customer won't receive more than one email from you in a 16-hour period. However, you should turn Smart Sending off for the first email in this flow, as it's important that when a customer subscribes to your newsletter, they receive the first message in your welcome series straight away. Let's add a time delay before the next email in this flow. To do this, I'll use the drag and drop builder to drag in a time delay and then configure it here to be 3 days. You can also add more advanced logic to the time delay, such as delaying it until a certain time or until certain days of the week. Now I'll click Save. Now we are going to add a 4th email to the flow and learn how to use a conditional split. A conditional split allows you to curate different content for recipients based on their behaviour or profile properties. In other words, it sends a customer down a different path depending on what they have done or not done. To add a conditional split, I will drag in the conditional split element from the sidebar. You can select a condition for your conditional split under Configuration on the left. We're going to select what someone has done or not done, as we are going to be creating this split based on whether or not someone has placed an order since they started the flow. I'll select Place Order from this dropdown, and at least once automatically appears as the frequency, although I can also change this. I'll want to adjust the time period dropdown to since starting this flow. And that's it, I can save my split. To add new emails to each branch of the flow, I just need to drag in email actions from the sidebar to each branch of the flow. These are then ready to update with content that aligns with my objective for each of these groups of subscribers. My final step in creating this flow would be to turn this flow live by clicking on Update All Action Statuses. There are 3 action statuses a flow can have: Live, Manual, and Draft. Draft is for you to edit, Manual means you will need to manually approve each customer to pass through this flow, And live means that your flow is live and sending to customers automatically without any approval needed from you. Once your flow is live, you'll want to keep a close eye on the performance of your flow. You can do this by clicking Show Analytics in the top right-hand corner. This will open up the analytics for each individual email and you can see some KPIs, including how many people this flow is delivered to and how many people have been skipped from receiving this flow. You can also see more advanced analytics for that message by clicking on the message and then clicking View More Analytics. And that's it! Now you have built an email welcome series and you're ready to start creating more flows in your account.